All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's show. Got a little bit something different set up for you guys this evening. Something we're going to try out with one of our guinea pigs, Davin Wydner, quarterback out of 2022 quarterback, out of Holy Trinity Christian School down there in Melbourne, Florida. A guy that's gone through a bit of a drastic growth spurt recently, but can really spin it. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to break down his film, and we're going to break down his film with him. So I'll patch him in right now. Davin, how we doing down there in Florida, man? Things are a little crazy. You settling in nice and comfortable in your home?
Yes, sir. Yep, it's been different, but getting some good family time in.
I got you. So speaking of family, I had an opportunity to talk to your father there at the Elite 11 camp in Carrollton, made the trip all the way up from Melbourne, Florida to Carrollton there to compete in that 11-11 circuit. And he told me, man, Davin, you've grown in about a matter of 9 months prior to your sophomore season. You went from about 5'10.5" to standing at about 6'4.5", touching 6'5" now as a rising junior. So, talk us through that growth spurt. Has your body caught up to what's going on? And, what was it like to just all of a sudden shoot up like a plant?
Well, ninth grade year, I was, you're right, 5'10", probably like 170, 180. And then I worked hard during the summer and going into my junior year, probably got myself to, I'd say, 6'1", 6'2", about 190, 200. And then during the football season, I really tried to, put on some weight, and I just sprouted even more. I got to where I am now. I'm probably like 6'4", about 210, 215 right now.
All right, so a lot of, hard work in the weight room. You weren't sitting around waiting on a growth spurt. You went out there and put the work in, trying to get bigger and get stronger, and then it just so happened that you sprouted up. So, that's a good tip for all young kids that are waiting around for that extra 2 inches or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the 2 inches. Control what you can control. Get out there and grind it out. All right, Davin. So we're going to jump right into it, man. We're going to get into this film session, and we're just kind of get your thoughts on what was going through your head during some of these football plays. Who better to tell us the story than you yourself? So we're going to take a look at it right here. And you and I rearranged your highlight clips a little bit. We're starting out with one of the best plays I think's on your highlight tape, into the half right here as the screen says 14 seconds to go. Let's talk through what you're seeing right here. We got walked off coverage at the top of the screen with the corner at the top and the corner down here at the bottom. What are you thinking with the safeties in the middle of the field? What are you thinking pre-snap in terms of coverage right here?
Well, all game they were sitting cover 3 with one high safety. So this is the end of the half. They're trying to prevent a touchdown. So they went cover 4. You have your corners at 9, your corners about 12, 13 yards. So I knew off the bat they're trying to take away the deep ball to the deep corners of the field. So immediately I was looking at my slots, making sure we were on the right page. And if we play the play, you'll see that my eyes switch from the outsides right back in.
Well, let's do it right now. Let's take a look at the play. Here it is. Yep, you're looking left, and then you work back right. Find that, what's that, a bang 8 right there from the slot receiver? Let's start it back from the top. So who he's looking at right here is this slot receiver right here at the corner at the bottom of the screen right here. A bang 8, folks, for the folks at home who don't know. He's going to push up on this safety and then snap it off, almost like a skinny post, correct, Davin? Exactly. So the slot's going to hit that. And pre-snap, right, Davin, you're going to have to hold on to this football, right? You're going to have to stay into the pocket and deliver a strike right before the half. So let's take a look at it one more time. There's that bang 8 from the slot receiver. The linebacker clears, and then you hit him, boom, right between the numbers. Now, he doesn't score, but he does get down. I do have to ask you, what ended up happening with the rest of that game clock right there? Did we get a timeout, rush the field goal unit on? What happened right there?
We had no timeouts. We ran up to the ball. We had probably 14 to about 9 seconds. We ran up. That was a first down. We came up. We spiked it. Next play, inside zone, scored right before the half.
So that's a big play. What was the score right there? I mean, it probably turned the momentum of a football game right there. You double up. Did you get the ball after the half too?
Yes,
and we're really –
yes,
so you're really racking it up right there on them.
Mm-hmm. This is first game of the year. I'm pretty sure it was 7-7 at half, right before the half. So this made it 14-7, and we had ball going into the second half.
Man, that's pretty impressive, Davin. Not only, the whole idea of the 2-minute drill, but for it to be the first game of the season, for you to be able to control that as a sophomore, that's rather impressive. And not only that, but to get the score. On to the next play. And I love this one right here from you. You talk about eye manipulation, young quarterbacks. Take a look at this. I can't see the other side of the screen, but I can already tell you what's happening, and so does Davin. Look, that's the center field safety right here. Everyone appears to be in either some sort of man or some sort of zone, but the middle of the field is closed, and we've got a good wide receiver down here on the bottom of the screen that you can't see in a one-on-one situation. Davin, what are you thinking pre-snap right here?
Well, immediately we had, trips left. He was my fastest receiver to my right, so I always gave favor just to look, but I always was taught to, look off and throw your deep ball. So I think it was bracket coverage over to my left. They were trying to keep everything in a box. So immediately I was like, okay, I can look here, but I'm not going here. It was one-on-one press coverage, and that was just my immediate thought. I think it was second and short here. So what a better time to throw a deep ball to one of my better receivers.
Gotta love a second and short, taking a shot right here. It's a good job by the offensive coordinator, but a really good job by you. I want the audience to see what happens to number 5 right here when Davin looks left towards this slot, to this left side. Watch number 5 bail out immediately. Boom. Now guess what happened? We kept the one-on-one down at the bottom of the screen, a one-on-one situation, correct, Davin? We did not involve the safety. And then take a look at the ball placement right here. Film kind of cuts out, but boom, we're dropping it in a bucket right there, correct, Davin?
Yes, sir.
How much, is that something you guys run the whole route tree on air every day, probably. You got a good rapport. I know you got one big wide receiver, just picked up an offer to Mississippi State, but you got some weapons down there at Holy Episcopal, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, 3-4 solid receivers. They could compete with these guys any day from Savannah. I
got you. Is this Calvary Day right here?
This is Beach High School.
I got you. All right, let's get on to the next clip. All right, we got an eye manipulation. Oh, no, we're just dropping a floater. See, I love this from quarterbacks too, right, Davin? We know you're big and strong, right? We know you can absolutely rip the football. But the question is, do you have ball placement? Can you make a touch throw? This is the definition of one. Let's go back to the pre-snap right quick. Get your thoughts immediately. We know middle of the field's open, right? This is the safety we saw. He's bailing out of the box. What are you thinking right here?
I look at my D lineman to see how many are in the box. And I think it was 7. And if I'm doing my math right, it's 7, and then I had 4 receivers. So I knew it was man-to-man, no safety help, and I'd take my receivers in Savannah over any DB core in 3A anywhere. So I knew all I had to do was put a ball to where I can have a receiver run under it, and that was the result.
Give your guy a shot, right? I mean, this is exactly what you did. We stared him down, but guess what? It's one-on-one, and he's cooking them. So it doesn't really matter. That's 6 points right there for your high school. Look, here we go again. Young high school athletes, take a look at what Davin has done with his film. He is labeling critical situations. Look, great plays are great plays, but do you make them in pinpoint and critical times of the football game? A 4th and 8 right here, down 3 in the middle of the 4th quarter. Not even the middle. Look at this clock up here. It's 1:36 minutes left in this football game. This is a big time must-have down right here because you're probably not going to get the ball back. Correct, Davin?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's take a look at what happens. What are you thinking immediately? Can't take a sack, right? That's number 1, correct?
Off the rip, if I had to throw it away, I had to throw it away. But at this point, it's 4th and 8, so it's do or die. So I had to get the first. So it was, run with it myself if the pocket collapsed, or I have to find an open receiver.
All right, so the pocket does collapse. Well, what do? You pull a little 2019 Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow, and you slip up into B-gap, right? Take a look at the offensive line. Watch what happens with this right tackle over here. This number 1 right here is given a heavy speed rush outside and fails to keep contained, right, Davin? Are you feeling this, and do you know where your windows are, and how does a quarterback get to that?
Yeah, so he was disrupting us all game. Obviously, it's not a very high-scoring game, but off the rip, I had smash concept to my right, so I had a corner and a hitch at the stick at the 8-yard line. So, and obviously, it's easier for a right-handed quarterback to throw right. So the first thing I thought is obviously pocket presence, step up in the pocket and slide to my right because I knew I had other D linemen coming toward my back, and that's when I found the same receiver, Shamar Sangren, sitting at the stick.
Let's take a look at it. This is exactly what you do. You create time with your feet, right? Even gave a heavy pump, kept the football, and then we get to that hitch, right? Knew exactly where the guys were. Is this a half-field read for you? Last question on this play, Davin.
Yes.
Was it a half-field read?
Off the bat, I was thinking, all right, let me just exclude this. Let me keep this as simple as possible, and I just picked my most explicit side.
All right, let's see what this is another one of these touch throws, right? Putting it in a tight area. Look at this, guys. Take a look at this throw from Davin, okay? Same kind of thing. They're in cover 3, correct, right here, Davin? We got a heavy bail. Hips are turned from both corners. Single high safety. Everyone else is kind of trying to reroute number 1 or number 2 and get into their zones. Exactly. So this guy is going to get inside this linebacker, and he does just that. Boom. Now we know we got to throw him away from this safety, and we got to throw him away from this corner while also dropping it over these 2 guys. Take a look at what Davin does. Boom, drops it right in there, and we got 6 right there. Let's go back to the top. Is that exactly what happened, Davin? Is that what we're going through our processes here?
That is exactly what it was. Before the snap, I actually looked at my receiver. This is a DB who catches this touchdown. He's a DB in college now. I looked at him before the play. I knew everything that was going down. Obviously, you see that safety. He's
creeping
toward my right side. So I automatically looked to my left slot. I told him just slip inside of your backer, try to reroute, and it went exactly as planned.
Yeah, a lot of high school quarterbacks overthrow this football, and it gets picked off by one of these DBs right here. But that thing's dropped right into a bucket. Let's get on to the next play. That's a tutty for Holy Christian. All right, this was a play you and I need to talk about because right now I'm screaming bubble. Okay, in my head, I'm thinking bubble's wide open. Why did we hit the slant? Let's show the audience. He hits the slant right there in the second window. This is a good job by a high school quarterback. Watch this outside linebacker right here. He tries to sit in the first window of this slant. Davin extends the play just a little bit with his feet, allows his wide receiver to get into that second window and hit him. Now, Davin, tell me why we didn't hit this back in the flat right there.
Well, off the bat, I went from obviously my pull is off the backside D end, so I pull and I looked immediately at the outside linebacker, and he was sitting. And when we caught the sit in every other game, it was throw the bubble. But this team had small corners, slow corners, and so I actually went from outside linebacker to corner. And as you see, that corner is probably five yards off bail of that slant. So I was just thinking that I could just, fit it in that second window, like you said, and make something out of it.
Good enough for me. That's a good enough explanation. That is Calvary Day High School right there. That is South Georgia football and some good ones. They actually took a couple of playoff L's to your boy here. All right, another one of these deep ball throws, another head manipulation here, right here. You see, it appears to me it looks like some sort of zone and quarters coverage, middle of the field open. Is that what you're reading here, Davin?
Yes. This was, I think it was third. I want to say 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. So
no, it's 3rd and a zip code. Take a look at the top of the screen. We got 3rd and at least 20 right here.
3rd and 20, 3rd and 25. So obviously the whole receiver that I've been targeted, probably half of this highlight tape is my receiver with those, lime green cleats. And, I was just picking matchups at this point. Sometimes, skill beats skill. So I was looking, pre-snap read, and I saw probably a 5'8" corner against, one of the best receiver in Savannah. So, I just had to put a good ball in there, and, we got the first.
And a good ball it was. I mean, he high points this thing, but this ball couldn't be put in a better place because he's bailing on the sideline. Look, he didn't stack the corner. He didn't get back on top of him. Now, it's really hard to do that because the guy is playing so far off, and he's, protecting the deep ball. But, that's not a even leaving kind of thing, and nor has he stacked him. So that ball is in literally the only place that your guy can go get it. I love that. And again, let's go back to the top. Look at him. He's looking left from the top, immediately gets back right and throws a dime right there. That's a good play from you, Davin. Let's go on to the next one. All right. Just we call this a Dover route, like a deep over almost, right? He's getting to 10. So what?
We went outside. It was a dig. It was
dig.
15 dig. We went the number 2, ran a wheel, clear that corner out, which is exactly what happens. And then we had a 3, run a little, just sit right in front of a linebacker to occupy. And this is exactly how the play's supposed to be ran. The wheel takes your corner, and then that dig just sits wide open in the middle of the field. Yeah,
this is really good play design. And is your dad your offense coordinator? I'm pretty sure he is. Is he not? Isn't that what you're telling me?
He used to be.
Either way, this is great play calling and play design right here because what you're talking about, right? They're off in some sort of quarters coverage. We've got to occupy that corner right there, number 2. And the best way to do it is to send somebody into his zone and then smack. You hit the dig. All right, now this dig is ran with some good pace, but it probably could have been ran a little better. I'm not hating on your wide receiver, but he's getting into the window, and that's good. I see you touch throwing as well right here, Davin, trying to avoid this middle linebacker getting his hands in there. What kind of goes to your mindset on deciding, how much tempo to put on a football?
Well, with that little sit route in between, sometimes you don't know what a backer's doing. Linebackers really aren't the best in coverage in high school, so sometimes they could just be wandering. So my original thought was just to get it over his head, like no matter what it was, because I knew the next guy was. I mean, when he catches that ball, there's nobody in a 10-yard radius of him. So
all right. It's not all cookies and rainbows here on this broadcast. I gotta critique you a little bit. We're trying to get better. What can we do right here? Let's take a look at your feet at the point of release, Davin. Let's take a look at it. I just saw it this last rep. All right, look.
Yep, my left foot is flying out the door.
Exactly. Our hips are wide open for we're trying to hit this guy basically right on this cross where you end up hitting him inevitably. But what ends up happening is we can miss this ball far right in a way, right? Because our hips are wide open. See, if we get that front hip closed, and you know this just as well as I do, that ain't it, right? We could probably, if we had to rip that football, if we had to get some go-go juice on that, we don't have any in our feet because our platform's incorrect, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's what we're here for. We're here to get a little better while shine light on your intellect right here. All right, I like to see this too, right? When guys look at Davin, when guys evaluate you, they're not going to tell you that you're a burner, right? They're not going to ask you to run at the college level. Look, you're 6'4.5", 210 pounds, but what you can do is extend the play with your feet, correct? Talk me through what's going on right here. I see a lot of people in the box, and we're in a goal line situation. What's your thought process here as a quarterback?
Oh, well, I think we had slants all around. We had inside slant, outside slant. And obviously it's man-to-man. You have that safety sitting over your right side, man-to-man over here, but you have a little bracket to your left with that safety. It's sitting in that window. So I crossed off that side of the field right away. I was either thinking hit that inside slant in that second window above everybody else, or I was just thinking I'm gonna have to go make a play by myself with my legs.
All right, so let's take a look at it. This is a 3-step play, right? So we're supposed to have the ball out right now, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so right now we see that bracket coverage has worked. The corner's got outside leverage. The safety's doing a good job sitting inside the window. Same for this safety in here. That corner right there probably bails off if you try to hit this number 1 wide receiver out here on the slant as well. So, boom, we're into our 3rd-step drop. We know the play is breaking down. You immediately and correctly, boom, we're getting out of the pocket. They have failed to keep contained. My guy's got outside leverage on this corner. Let's make a throwable and catchable ball nice and easy for him. This is a good play, Davin.
Thank you. Yeah, the second I rolled right, I locked eyes with that slant. My number 1 receiver outside.
Hard not to with his hand wide open in the air, right?
Exactly. We lock eyes, just quick spin, gets outside leverage, and, touchdown.
That's a good, scramble drill from him, too. He sees you breaking out. If your quarterback's running right, let's get right for him. Let's not make him throw across body. Is this another deep ball here, Davin?
It's a slant.
It's a slant.
Yep. Motion right, get that backer blitz, throw right to where he was.
Is this something you guys saw? And is this a tendency from their defense? You send jet motion, they fire the slot backer?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. I'm pretty sure we ran jet literally right before this play, outside. Your backside backer blitzes off the end. So
this guy right here, audience.
Yep, exactly.
So what Davin's saying is this jet motion coming across the screen. Watch how this outside linebacker reacts and watch him suck to the line of scrimmage, which means his responsibilities are to rush C-gap. Boom, right there. Davin sees it. He's working straight to the slant. Nice catchable ball for his guy to high point. Again, here we go. Another crucial situation right here in a tight football game, I would presume. Give me score, and, we're in 2-minute drill. Are we down here? Obviously, since we're in 2-minute, we're down trying to get points right here, correct?
I think this was tie game against Calvary Day. I'm pretty sure at this point it is 21-21. It's 2-minute drill, but I don't think you'd expect the final score. It was 42-21 us. So, going through my head here, same thing as that 4th and 8 in the first game. I'm either going to have to go get this myself, or I'm going to have to, make a play and hopefully a receiver gets open. I think route concept here, I want to say this was just verts. We ran verts. We tried to, beat the top off.
Looks like you had an out at the bottom and then verts from the outside too.
I'm pretty sure this was play call was, our concept 95. We had, our 9 route and our 5 route speed out. And then we had a little seam inside, and it actually happened to be that guy right there. Yep, is the guy
Yeah.
that's the best.
Absolutely. My number one thing here on this, broadcast is kind of dumb things down for the audience. So when Davin says this guy's got a 9 route, that's a straight go, straight fly route, if you will. He's got the 9 here. We got a vertical, what I call a slot seam, Davin. I don't know what you call it.
Nope.
Boom, straight up in the middle of the field, and then just this simple 5-yard out. We're trying to occupy and open up this side of the field. Let's see where you go with the football right here, Dav.
Pressure.
All right, we get.
Yep, I got pressure middle. I knew I had to sit down. And my vert actually does a very good job of, pocket escape, finding an open area in the field. There was nobody there. It was man-to-man. He just got the DB on the backside of him. And I threw a post curl type of thing if you'd really put on markers. Dead in the middle.
All right. Now I got to ask, your quarterback's coach, your head coach, was this like, I call these no, yes moments, right?
Yeah,
they're watching you roll right, and they're like, oh no, he's about to throw across his body.
Yeah,
the number one no for high school quarterbacks. But if you can get it done, you can get it done. This is one of those no, yes moments right here, right? Tight football game. We got to make a throw. Davin does exactly that. Gets a nice catchable football for his guy. Let's go on to the next rep.
I remember this is all verts. Same thing. My receiver's really good at escape drill. I got pressure left. I start rolling right, but I have a backer coming at me, so I had to set my feet. My slot receiver kind of runs like a 20-yard out, so to speak, and I just put it out his chest.
These guys are obviously coached, right? It's the slot that ends up doing this right here.
Yeah.
He's pushing up. Once he starts to, after about, the 5-step drop, he's trained to get his head around, look for the ball. He turns around, looks, you're bailing right. So what's he do? He sucks the route down and gets to the sideline just for you. I like the fact that exactly what you said. You set your feet, right? Look at the power and the follow through on this throw. Most young guys, they keep rolling out with this football. They throw it on the run and they end up chunking it into the bleachers or hitting the ball boy on the sideline. But instead, what do? Boom. We got a solid look. We're right in it, right? Yeah, we're right in quarterback draw, or we're in a drawing position right here. We're ready to fire that bow, and we strike and follow through, and a good ball right there on the sideline. That's good stuff. All right, a couple more here. 2-minute drill. Got to stay active again in the pocket. That's what I like about you. But my only question is, this ball probably should have been picked off, right?
That's what it looks like on film, but actually, like in real life, when it came out of my hand, I was thinking the same thing. But I knew that I just had a little bit more than he did, and it worked out in my favor.
Hey man, the ball didn't get picked off. That's all that matters. Let's see if we can find another good one. Okay, off-platform throws, right? This is what evaluators want to see all the time, especially from big guys like you. Do you have a baseball background, Davin?
Yeah, I still play today. Yes.
Yeah, South Georgia, North Florida boy, you better be playing baseball. So this is exactly what we're talking about, right? The ability to, throw a strike, deliver a strike. This is what Brock Vandegrift, quarterback commit in 2021 to Georgia. That's what he's so great at, right? And the reason was because when he was about 14, 15, before he isolated and soloed onto football, he was one of the best baseball players in the state of Georgia as well. So what you're doing right here is throwing off platform and throwing a strike. Boom, in tight coverage, right? RPO system right here. Tell me why you didn't give this football and walk me through your read, Dav.
Well, at my high school, we were taught to, if your DN is running straight at your running back, you pull.
Yeah.
But this game, the whole game, we tried, read option, and I'd pull, and they'd have another guy just for me. So we added that little RPO slant, which many schemes are doing today. And so I just saw a window, and I tried to fit it in as best I could.
So what basically happens here for the audience is defensive end typically is just, sometimes in high school, they're just taught to sprint at the mesh point and just hit somebody, right? And then this, I would imagine they were scraping this backer off into C-gap for you, correct?
Okay. Yep.
All right, so perfect. Coach is designing a play with this safety's hips out this way. We're trying to hit this slant right in behind this left inside linebacker. Okay, good job by the wide receiver sinking it down, right? Doesn't want to sprint into that next zone. That's all a good play. And look, man, I think this is one of your best qualities, right? Your ability to throw the deep ball. Okay, what goes in? I know the head manipulation. I know you've seen, what appears to be off man-to-man coverage here at the top of the screen. Yeah. Single safety is his shadow is right there. So he's just inside the right hash, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we got to get him left, right? We have
Yes.
got to get him left. Davin does a great job. And we'll end it on this clip right here of getting him left, getting a good pace, and boom, dropping that ball right into the bucket of his guy, giving his guy a chance. Again, man, wide receiver didn't exactly stack. This isn't what you see mostly on high school quarterback highlight tapes. Mostly you see, guy 40 yards open downfield, and I'm throwing a bomb. This is you throwing a bomb and putting it into a bucket. That's good stuff, Dav.
Thank you.
All right, I forgot to ask you at the very beginning of the show, kind of give us the rundown, and we'll get the film out of here for just a second. Kind of give us the rundown, Dav, of where you're at in your recruitment. Who's kind of interested. I know visits and whatnot have been kind of postponed for the time being until May 31st as of today from the NCAA. So walk us through your commitment, where you're at, and who's interested.
Well, right before, all this hit, I went on a visit to Florida State March 10th. We've been talking for months. When I was in Savannah, they talked to me. When I came back, they made a visit during your visit period around January. They wanted me and my receiver to come down, see the practice, see facilities, trying some gear. Other than them, I've been in contact with UF, the big three in Florida. Really, I was supposed to go there. UF. Miami. I was supposed to go to FAU, UCF, USF. So I was supposed to go the whole Florida trip. I talked to Georgia. I've been there. South Carolina, I talked to every once in a while. And recently,
an Auburn trip, right?
An Auburn trip for their junior day. And then I've been contacting Hawaii lately.
Hey.
We've been, texting back and forth for the past couple of days.
I got you, Dav. Well, I'm going to tell you what, you did a fantastic job tonight. I hope it all turns out great. You are our guinea pig, and man, I'm going to tell you what, you flat out crushed it. You certainly know the game of football, man. You're really well versed.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.